Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Abby with Abby Reviews, and this is going to be my review and recap for the finale of Clickbait Season 1. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Now, we have come to the conclusion that is the best friend. Baby boy is on his way to bash somebody's head in with a baseball bat at the address that he got from the oldest boy's friend girl, who tracked the metadata from who was sending the pictures. So I'm ready. My body is ready. Let's get into it. Okay, so confusion am I? Because what the hell is going on? So the baby gets over to the address. So the eldest son, he actually sees the messages from the girl giving him the address. He's like, Mom, I think I know where he is. They're texting and calling him, telling him, do not go over there. People are dangerous. He doesn't listen. He turned his finger stuff on silent. Okay. And so the person opens the door. Oh my God, it's the old lady, administrator lady from the job. Confusion am I? And she was like, what are you doing here, honey? And he was like, my brother played a trick on me. And she was like, oh, is your brother Ethan here? And he was like, no. And then she was like, oh, well, this is my husband. This man comes up. He's like, honey, who is it? It's her husband, Ed. And she was like, well, you just come in and tell us what it's about, and I'll have my husband drive you home. And he was like, what happened to your eye, honey? Like, what is going on? And then he's like, okay. And as he's walking in, the wife and the husband both, once the little boy back to her face changes, like, what the, like, now we're going to have to kill this nigga too? Now, the little boy told him, oh, my brother and my mother know that. He was like, yeah, I should get home now. And it was like, okay, Mr. Ed go, okay, I'll go get the keys. And Mr. Ed goes off into the room, and she's like, let me go grab a sweater. Right? And so they in the bedroom, he done got his gun out the lockbox. And then he says to the administrative lady, the wife, you and your damn games. She's like, you got us into this now. I got to get us out of it. His mama and them probably already called the cops and everything. Oh, no. They gonna kill a little boy? Like, I'm confused. Okay, and then we go back 2 years when he first started the job. She was helping him set up all of his systems and stuff. And he was like, oh, you just do it for me. And he gave her, she was like, here's your username and password. You're going to need to change it as soon as you're in. And he's like, can you do it for me? And she was like, sure. And then she hooked up his phone and all of his information downloaded. And she saw all of his pictures. And she was like, oh, your children are so adorable. They don't have any children. Ed and Miss Dawn don't have no kids. So, and Nick was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she was like, oh, no, we lead very busy lives. Now, when she get home from the job, his first day, and she's talking to her husband, he got a whole train system, choo-choo train situation happening, model train in sounds and all kinds of things. And he's building buildings and stuff. Like, it's a whole ass hobby. Like, he seems content. It's her that seems a little bit off. I don't know what the hell going on. Did these people kill this man? I'm so confused. Okay, so apparently Miss Dawn. So when Dawn had Nick's phone, she saw a message pop up from Mandy, the artist. She had been, so Nick had stopped responding to Mandy. I guess he decided he was in love with his wife and he wasn't going to do that. So when she knows his password to everything, because he gave it to her to change his password too. So she goes to the dating website because the message was like, where are you? I haven't heard from you lately. And so she goes to the dating website, and using the name that was on the messages on his phone and his password, she signed into his profile and started chatting with Mandy. So it's been Miss Dawn catfishing all these people I am stunned. And then Sophie and Pia get to the house. Nobody's there. They've already left. They've had Kai's bat at the front door. They broke into the people's house and they done figured out it's Miss Dawn and Mr. Ed. And now the police done showed up to the house too. Meanwhile, Mr. Don, Mr. Ed got Kai in the car Child, foolishness. Okay, so Don and Mr. Ed arrive at some stable place where they have a trailer. I guess where horses keep horses or something. The police have figured out that that's where they are, and they're heading over there. While Don and Mr. Ed is trying to figure out what the hell they gonna do now that they got this child, and they listen. Dad them pulled the gun on him, threw his phone out the window, like they in deep. And Mr. Ed said he ain't going to jail. Now, hell. So we rewind back to Emma is like having this relationship, but it's not with Nick, it's with Miss Dawn. And Miss Dawn is feeling her oats. She come to bed and she get it on with Mr. Ed. And Mr. Ed was like, okay, would you like a glass of water? And her computer is going on. Mr. Ed is like, what the hell is all of this? And she was like, oh, nothing, it's a computer game. And she tried to close it real quick. And she's like, who is Danny? Who is Emma? And then he sees the same language that she used with him. She used in the same conversation with Emma. So he not dumb. He knows something's going on. Child. And she said she just didn't want to be lonely. She wanted to be someone. She wanted to be seen. So you decided to start catfishing people on the internet using one of your coworkers' pictures? Also, he told Miss Dawn about the affair. He said he only told one person, and it was Miss Dawn. So I'm assuming when he got loose from Simon and them, he went to Miss Dawn and Mr. Ed house, and they clapped him. That's the only way, I guess, child. We at the end, can't be no more twist. Now, Miss Dawn and Mr. Ed is trying to discuss what the fuck they gonna do to get out of their situation. She says, I know what I'll do. I'll confess. I'll confess to stealing. His identity is a misdemeanor, and then, we'll leave, we'll sell the house, we'll start and the husband is like, but Nick Brewer's dead. And she was like, I scrubbed our house from top to bottom. Nobody will know that he was there. Nobody will know what happened. And they try to come up with that game plan. Meanwhile, Kai then got the zip ties off his hand. He done took a chair and busted out one of the windows when he couldn't get the door open. And they was like, oh my God, the boy. And then by the time they figured it out, he done jumped out the window and he takes off running. And the husband stick his head out through one of the windows. He was like, stop. And he goes to shoot, and the wife grabs his hand. I thought they shot the baby at first, but no, they missed. And so he done took off, and now he's hiding in the horse stable. Where the Brewer was let go by the Simon. Instead of going straight to the police, he went straight over to Miss Dawn and Mr. Ed's house. And she was like, what happened? And he was like, do you know who did this to me? And she was like, no. I knew it wasn't true. And he was like, the brother of the woman who killed herself, Sarah Burton. And she was like, she was like Maggie Oxley. And she was like, oh. And he was like, we're going to the police. And you're going to tell them everything that you did. You got people out here thinking I'm a monster. And she was like, no, Nick, we're not going to the police. And before he could finish his sentence, the husband came from out of nowhere with a hammer and killed this man on their kitchen floor. Jesus. Damn. It be your own people. It be your own people. Now I got to apologize to Matt because I really thought it was you. Okay, so we fast forward and Mr. Ed has Kai and the police got Miss Dawn and they looking for Kai. They looking for Kai and Mr. Ed. So they walk up on him and Mr. Ed, Kai said, did you kill my dad? And he was like, I didn't mean to. He was like, please don't hurt me. And so the police didn't show up and they like, drop the gun, let the little boy go, let him go. And Don is like, Ed, just let him go, just let him go. And so Mr. Ed lets the little boy go and he goes to his mama and they like, Mr. Ed, drop the gun. And Don is like, Ed, drop the gun. And I thought they was going to do it and arrest him peacefully. But Mr. Ed said, I told y'all asses I was not going to jail. And he pop out and they killed Mr. Ed. Now Miss Dawn is screaming and hysterical. And she runs. It's fire. So Miss Dawn is apprehended and next thing we know, we're at Nick's actual funeral. It's getting ready to start. Mom and Pia shows up. and Pia and Sophie have a conversation, asking each other, are they ready to do this? And neither one of them are ready, but they have to do it anyway. And we find out that Tara has filed a complaint against the best friend for leaking her nudes. Because you're a dick, sir. Thank you. Next. But that was how Clickbait ended. This was a roller coaster for me. This was really good. Like, it never even entered my intellect that it would have been Miss Dawn catfishing everybody. Jesus Christ. Ooh, I can't wait for El Teddy to see this, because he swear for out something going on with the son and the mama. And I could see how he could, yeah. Like, I really, really enjoyed this limited series. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. Shout out to my willpower for not pushing through and binge watching this, though I wanted to at a couple of episodes. I want to just skip to the next episode, but shout out to me. Thank you. But yeah, we gonna find something else to watch in a minute. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a kin. I'll catch y'all in the next one. These monsters they're terrible, but I started drinking it. Don't ever get the ones without any sugar in it, because Jesus Christ on the cross. But I just went off on a whole tangent for no reason. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a kid, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.